Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Dicomical Discussions. I'm Rowan and I'm joined by
James
Clark. So, this is the first video where we actually have a suggested topic for once. It's from Play.me, a very good site, you should go check it out if you're interested. And it's not an advertisement, by the way, I'm not being paid to say that. But the question is, what is our opinion on paid, free-to-play and subscription-based games? So first, for any of you that wouldn't know what that is, a paid game would be you buy the game, you own the physical copy, it's yours to keep. Free to play would be you download it for free, it's free to play, you're not forced to spend a penny on it, but there would be microtransactions involved. And a subscription base would be where you pay in small installments monthly so you're allowed to keep playing, basically. So first of all, I think we should start at the beginning, which would be paid games. So it's a pretty standard thing to see. A paid game is probably the oldest method of getting a game, really. It's pretty basic, and I don't think there's much we can say about this, Jim, about paid games.
Well, actually, you say that, but paid games, as much as you have the ability to buy one, recently a lot of them have the in-game transactions as well as buying the games.
That's a good point.
And that's just something that puts me off specific games.
Like, I think it was Dead Space 3, where they were like, you could play the game after you've bought it, or you could give us, a bit of cash and beat the game slightly faster, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, see, like, I think paying for in-game items is alright, but it's dependent on the game. Like, you wouldn't expect to pay for the content in the game if you've already bought it from a store.
Yeah.
But if you've gone ahead and downloaded a free-to-play game, it's understandable that there'll be content for them to make money. And
you'll find most of the time that in free-to-play games, they'll the updates will be free as well. You won't have to buy the updates, but that just comes with the microtransaction thing. Like, I have no problem with putting some money. Like, I've spent more money than I can count on hats and skins and shit and TF2 and League of Legends and stuff like that. So in my opinion, I don't mind free to play as long as it's not money grubbing, or as long as you don't have to buy the game then pay later.
The thing with stuff free to play games are the content's often updated, and there's like two styles. There's either a free to play game, but if you want the rest of the story, it's DLC. Or there's a free-to-play game like TF2 where you have the game, you've downloaded it, that's it. If you want to wear a fancy hat, go for it. If not, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you still got the game.
You can still be as skilled as every other player. The hats, say hats don't mean anything. You probably get called a free-to-play noob, but apart from that, you can be just as skilled, even more skilled than like players that do buy hats, just because the hats do nothing. They're purely cosmetic.
Whereas I'm not actually sure about subscription, because the only game I can think of right now which is subscription based is gotta be WoW, and
that's like the only one I can.
I think you pay a disgusting amount for WoW. The game looks fun, it looks great, but it's still a disgusting amount to pay.
You got to think of how much time you'll spend as well, because like you could pay all that money for the month, but if you're only going to play like once or twice, then obviously you're wasting your money.
That and the expansions you have, there's like 9-10 expansions, if I'm not over exaggerating.
There's about 5 maybe.
Well, that's still a lot.
There's one that's just came out, so it might be 6, I'm not quite sure.
And you still have to pay almost full price for that, like £20 for some of them.
For the expansions, I mean, obviously you don't need all of them, because obviously the new one has the new level cap and all the new content and stuff, but see, if you wanted to go back and play, I don't know, Wrath of the Lich King or something with your friends, you'd still have to buy that as well.
I think I do like about DLCs and buying content is stuff like Blizzard. When you pre-ordered Overwatch when that came out, it's pretty decent that they gave you items for other games for free.
Yeah,
I thought stuff like that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. They gave me those Mercy Wings for Diablo 3. That was pretty cool.
You get a little Winston pet for WoW.
Yeah.
So I guess where I was going to move on to was pre-purchase items. I don't feel are fair, but I think if it's the same price as, because sometimes they'll be like,
you can pre-order it now, but it's going to be more expensive than if you bought it at launch. I think that's a bit disgusting because they're basically giving you the game and cosmetic materials for more money. Like, even if they're not cosmetic, like, it could be a statue or so. I still don't completely agree with it. I can see why people would want it, but for me personally, I doesn't really, like, appear to me as something that I want to put more money on.
I'd put more money in a collector's edition, but that's if the game meant enough to me. I wouldn't just pick the collector's up edition of any game that came out.
Yeah.
Like, say if Overwatch came out and it's already, it's being released, and then it comes out with a collector's edition later on after it's been released, then I might pick it up, because if I loved Overwatch, I'd feel, I'd go and pick this up. But certain games, they do the collector's edition before the games came out.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's not right, especially as you've never even played the game. You've only seen trailers and alphas.
I just think there's just too many editions. Like, couldn't they just have like the one version? It comes with the game, comes with anything else like statues, books, but that's it. That's like the only edition you get, because then it wouldn't seem too expensive, because there's no other edition to compare it to. Because there's like special edition, pre-order edition, day one edition, origins edition, fucking pick your bumhole edition. There's like these so many of these editions, but like it's like can't you just have the one? Because like they'd still make money, but they have to have all these editions just because they're like, maybe we can get people to buy multiple of these editions and it will feel like they're missing out, so they'll need the editions.
Well, what you're saying is often about like AAA companies, and I know we shit talk about this a lot, but COD and stuff like that, and they always seem to be in a habit of doing this.
Like a million different editions.
Bethesda, for instance, they do DLC.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's actually adding something to the game.
Well, Fallout 4's Workshop DLC.
Oh boy. Ooh. Maybe I should have said that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel like certain companies, the way they handle DLC is a lot nicer at least. Because, like I was saying, Bethesda, they add content to the game, but they don't chuck it down your throat. It doesn't.
No, like you can still play the game without the DLC, it's not essential.
But I remember wanting to play, I think when I first started picking up PlayStation Network, I wanted to play COD Zombies with my friend.
Yeah.
But you had to pay to play the zombie game mode. Like back, I don't know, I think it was one of the old ones.
You had to buy the zombie maps. Yeah. So you get the free one that was usually the worst one.
And no one would want to go on it.
Because it's really bad and like everybody's already knows all about the map. But then if you wanted more, you'd have to buy a map pack. And it's like, that's just insulting. It comes with a new zombie map, 4 multiplayer maps that the rotation's never going to choose because not everybody owns it. And that's it. Like, those map packs are disgusting. That's like the worst part of Call of Duty, are those map packs.
Actually, like, thinking about it, free-to-play games, I do think some of them are in the right, like League of Legends, you seem to be able to play that constantly, and the skins don't make a difference. And
no, they don't.
Even recently, they've implemented a system where you can get the
skins for free. Yeah, like it's a very rare chance that you'd get the one that you want, but theoretically, if you did grind the system that they've implemented, you could get the skins for free.
And I think you could even get ones that you can't purchase anymore if you're really lucky.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Which is quite nice.
I think I've got a Strad for one you can't buy, but I'll have to check. But coming back to that map thing, like, I think free-to-play games introduce maps better. Like, think when TF2 brings out a new map. Like, it's got so much detail, heart, and, like, planning into it. But when Call of Duty bring out a new map, it's just one of our old maps remastered.
Yeah.
And it's like, TF2 did do that, but at launch, it brought back 2 Fort. But, like, now it releases brand new maps that are designed by the community at no charge to the players. And, like, it's a decent quality map that you're going to like. And they also give you the option where if you feel like the map developers need some compensation, you can support them and put, like, a bit of money towards the map. And it gives you a free hat for it.
I was saying that when you're talking about the community, I've noticed that games you just buy straight off the shelf often have a playtime. You have it maybe 1 to 2 years, and then that's it. You can't really play it unless you're dedicated to that game series.
Yeah.
But then stuff like free-to-play games often have quite a bit of replayability, and they have a community.
Yeah.
Which is something that a lot of AAA
they don't seem to understand.
Yeah.
They just think like they're just like, well, release the game and it will sell itself on its own merits and it will keep itself alive. When like you can release DLC all you want, but you've got to release stuff that your community wants. You can't just release something you think be cool in the game. Like think of League of Legends. Like before they released the Champion Ivern, I think people were posting on forums saying it was kind of hard getting into jungling because there was too many systems they had to worry about. So they released Ivern, where you pretty much don't have to worry about a thing. You just right click on him and that's it.
Yeah.
Like obviously he has downsides, but they listen to feedback and they implement either a new update or a new champion to fit that feedback. And it works because, well, it's not the most played PC game for no reason.
Yeah, I think it's actually the most played game overall now, and
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
It's just weird that a free game has a massive community, whereas a game that you buy from the shelf might have a massive community because people are buying it in 2017. Next year, the year after, it's gonna die down.
Yeah.
But stuff like League of Legends won't because of the attention to detail.
No, it's gonna stay. Like they even updated the whole map a few years ago. Like the whole entire map, they just revamped it and modernized it, which is like, it's quite dedicated. When if they wanted to, they could have just been like, you know what, screw you guys, we're just gonna keep the old 2009 map design forever. I mean, you guys still seem to play on it, so we're just not gonna touch it. But they were like, you know what, we'll change it because it will keep our fans around. It will make them happy.
Well, thinking about subscriptions, ESO used to be a subscription-based one.
Yeah.
And even they listened to their community.
Yeah, because nobody was subscribing to it, or the subscriptions they weren't staying. They'd subscribe for like a month and they would never subscribe again.
Yeah.
Because like at launch, they must have found that the content was just lackluster for their subscription.
I'd say the game, I enjoy it personally, but I think it's more of it's an Elder Scrolls series than the game itself.
But
because
like, would you spend like however much it was? I think it was like, it must have been the same price as WoW per month to play it though.
I don't think so, because it's one of those ones I pick up and play every now and again. I can't jump into it right now because like I feel like the content in game, because it's a MMO, but it's, you know, like they've kind of designed it to be similar to Skyrim and the other games prior, like Oblivion. They like force upon all these quests, and it's a bit hard to pick one specific one to do and get on with it because of the MMO kind of style gameplay. It doesn't really fit the same as
they're trying to like, and then there was all those people at launch that were so disappointed in it, and it's like, well, they're disappointed in it because they were expecting a co-op Skyrim. It's not a co-op Skyrim.
I don't think it was ever.
It was
said
never
to be
intended.
That.
No, it was just it just has the Elder Scrolls title. I reckon if it was just called, I don't know, Knights Online, it wouldn't have the same criticism.
Saying that as well, I have to give it to them that they tried it and it worked pretty well for their first attempt.
Yeah, I mean the player base is pretty solid.
They haven't got a lot of following, not that compared to that of other games, but they have a decent one.
Yeah, they have. I mean, like, back to the subscription thing. I mean, I bought Elder Scrolls Online outright, like, after it got rid of the subscription service. So, I mean, like, I can jump back into the game anytime I want. I can just be like, right, I want to play it now, so I'll just jump into it. But if it was subscription, that would just drive me away. I'd be like, well, I do want to play it, but I'd have to spend, like, 30 quid just to play it for a month, so it just wouldn't be worth it.
So if you don't have £30 on you at that time,
I wouldn't be able to play it. And then by the time I do get that money, I might have lost interest.
Yeah.
I just think the subscription thing in general is just, I don't really like the system. Like, it works for World of Warcraft, but I think if they had an outright buy system with maybe, because it's an MMO and it has to last quite a while, maybe some cosmetic microtransactions, I reckon the game would do a lot better for it.
Well, I mean, I would play it, you would play it.
I'd play it, definitely, yeah.
I've had friends who've played the free subscription, got to level 20,
level 20.
and then want to play it more, but not be able to because of...
Yeah. I mean, I quite enjoyed playing to level 20, but you can still play it after level 20, it just won't let you level up anymore.
Yeah, so you won't be able to get new abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
It had a unique charm, but I can't pay that much.
No, I definitely wouldn't pay that much for it, for sure. I just think that a game should either be fair paid, like you buy it from the shelf, or it should be a decent free-to-play system with reasonable microtransactions. I mean, it's not really too much to ask, but the greed of companies gets the better of them, and apparently it is too much to ask.
And greed in media is pretty scary at the moment with video games. It could crash it all.
Like, until Persona 5 came out, I pretty much never looked at a new game, because none of them interest. It was all just the same grey modern military first-person shooter or an Ubisoft sandbox game.
Yeah.
Copy and paste character in the same location.
I felt like a lot of game medias are a bit too scared to jump into a different sector or pick a different genre up or just do something unique. And that's why you end up seeing so many of these sandbox survivals, because one thing's successfully gone and done it because it was original.
And they have to try and reach off that success. That's actually quite a good point, because that happened to Ubisoft. They started making Assassin's Creed, they made that open world, and it did insanely well.
Yeah.
So they were like, you know what, we're just going to turn all of our game franchises into open world adventure games where you have to climb towers and discover new areas of the map. And I mean, Far Cry's dead because of it. They've killed Far Cry.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon Wildlands looks interesting as like a poor man's armor, but like there's a reason that Yahtzee called it the ultimate Ubisoft game, because it's just a sandbox supreme. And like, they've pretty much killed Assassin's Creed as well, just by beating the shit out of the dead horse that they had.
Are we being critics, or are we being...
I'd say we're being factually opinionated, because we're stating our opinions, but there's quite a lot of fact to back up what we're saying.
Because I was thinking when you said that about other companies saying, wow, 10 out of 10 this game.
Yeah.
I've noticed that quite a few companies, like stuff like The Star, have said it.
Yeah.
And why would The Star, a newspaper
I found that really
company...
strange, them commenting on... I think it's because, like, you know that whole Joe, you can't spell ignorance about IGN.
Yeah.
And they're jumping on pretty much every Call of Duty release, every single GTA release, just throwing it 10 out of 10s. And it's like, I think The Star are seeing that and being like, oh, if we throw out 10 out of 10s as well, we'll get attention as well.
Yeah, maybe we can get their audience.
Maybe, yes, just take their audience.
Yeah.
They couldn't give a shit about the video game itself. They just put the number on there just to get those views.
It's also kind of scary how people feel that the video game industry isn't a real thing. Because a lot of people seem to laugh it off and are quite unaware.
Like, there's that whole thing where it's like, back in the 80s, you were a nerd loser if you played games. But I mean, I still don't want to openly admit to everybody that I'm going to be making games as for a living.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people still don't take esports seriously, which is fucking ridiculous. Like, there was a kid in our college group just a few weeks ago that didn't think esports is an actual sport, which is stupid because it's a competitive game for a massive reward pool. So of course it's a competitive sport.
Man, I think trying to open up to someone like, I don't know, my grandparents maybe, I don't think they'd understand.
Like, they would be with it because they're my grandparents, but they wouldn't understand how I'm doing it. They just support me because they're my grandparents.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's also kind of weird that this kind of media isn't very easy to pick up for other age groups.
It's really not, no.
I find it kind of strange though.
It's kind of like you were born in the moment when this media started going up, and if you missed it, then it's just going to be really hard to get into it, because you think like it's either you played games like our dads or mothers or like elders that were alive when games started, so naturally they would have picked it up then, or it's you played games because you're their children and they taught you that they've shown you that they used to play games. But I just think that other generations just aren't really going to get into it the same way.
And I'm wondering if it would die out, like, because
yeah,
at
it
the
will just
moment,
get smaller.
From what I see, is TV seems to be the dying media.
TV and newspapers especially.
So, like, maybe that'd be something that advances beyond video games.
Yeah, new just entertainment genre entirely, but that is a lot of. Well, you say a lot of bizarre thinking, but I guess back before video games, people would have thought that an interactive media would be a bit of bizarre thinking. So you never know, really. Sound a bit like a conspiracy theorist now, but.
What are frogs, Mulder?
What are frogs?
Thanks for tuning into this edition of a podcast. We would really appreciate some more suggestions to keep us going.
As you can see, this video went for quite a while. I think it turned out pretty well. All because we actually had a suggestion. We had a topic to talk off for once.
Yeah, man.
Kind of going back to our old format of our first, 2 videos, where it was more of a calm, on-the-nose discussion instead of hard, screaming that we did in the other videos.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I quite like making both types, so it depends, really. I mean,
either way, we appreciate suggestions so that we can have something to talk about.
They're always welcome. Comment section's always open.
Cheers for that, my dudes. Big Deconstructor signing out.
Oh no, he did it instead of me!